What is up, guys? It's Sodri Diego. Today we're going to be unboxing some vinyl. Today we got Kali Uchis, and I forgot the name of it, but it's an EP. It's from 2015. It's my favorite Kali Uchis project for sure, but the name is escaping my mind. I'm going to try to guess before I pull it out, but it's not Forever Yours, is it? No, it's not Forever Yours. See, it's because I was listening to It's Yours by Wu-Tang earlier, and I have that stuck. But as I'm pulling it out, I can't remember it. Por Vida, there you go, Por Vida, and I didn't even read it. But here we have Por Vida by Kali Uchis from 2015. And like I said before, this is my favorite Kali Uchis project. And the reason why is because of Tyler, the Creator. In 2013, that's when I joined Twitter, and Tyler has always been very, very active on Twitter. You know, as you can see from his recent controversies, that's where it stems from, a lot of his tweets. But so before, back in the day, Tyler was my favorite artist. And he would put me onto a lot of artists. He put me on to Schoolboy Q and Kali Uchis. Those are the only ones I could think of right now. But yeah, he tweeted out this EP and I listened to it, and immediately I could tell that a lot of the songs were produced by Tyler. Tyler has a very distinct style, so you know, I was able to pick it up on easily just because he was, you know, my favorite rapper at the time and producer. I think a few artists have that ability, that they have very distinct instrumentals when it comes to production, like Tim, Pharrell, Tyler, even Eminem has a very distinct style. But I think that's cool, and yeah, I think it's cool that he put me on, and a lot of people, to Kali Uchis. Back then, Kali felt more avant-garde compared to like what was coming out. And yeah, I think she really stood out in a time where a lot of people were very, you know, traditional in R&B and pop. What drew me to her was her style, to be honest. She had a very retro style. Her fashion was very, very like off the wall compared to like everything else in hip hop. And she's hip hop adjacent. You know, obviously right now I think she's married to Don Toliver, but back in the day she was dating Young Leash for a while. So I always think R&B and pop are hip hop adjacent. She's a part of that world. Let's see what's in the gatefold. Oh, this is cool. Por Vida, there she is on, I think that's a Cadillac, I'm not sure. But looks like she's on a Cadillac with a van in the back. And look what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, her style, her very distinct retro style from this era. Very cool. I always liked her style, very cool. Very authentic too, especially like early on. I mean, I still think she's authentic. I'm not gonna lie, I don't listen to Kali as much as back then. This is my favorite project by her, like I said, but I feel like she's always been authentic. That's one thing that you could never deny from Kali Uchis, is her authenticity, which is very appreciated. Very appreciated. And yeah, let's get a look at the vinyl itself. And this is very nice, this is very cool. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it looks like an emerald color. It's semi-transparent, but this is very cool. I like it. It's like a coral emerald color, which really fits with her whole aesthetic. I know it's weird, but her aesthetic during this era kind of reminds me of like thrifting back before it got popular, and you could actually find cool shit for decent prices. But this is side A, and then this is side B. Not much to it, you know, it's an EP. But yeah, this is cool. I don't think this was ever like released officially. I'm not sure if this was. But yeah, it's very cool. I'm not sure if this was a mixtape when it first came out or not, but like I said, Tyler's production is very like apparent throughout this EP, with Call Me and Speed. So he's only on here for 2 songs, but yeah, I think this EP is great. Some of my favorite songs include Lottery, Call Me, Rush. I think Rush stands out a lot, and it's produced by Kaytranada. and Bad Bad Not Good, which are two of my favorite artists, so it's no surprise that I like that song. Speed is also very good. Loner, I think, was the single from this EP, and Riding Round. This version of it, because she has two versions, she has a remix, but this version of it is very different. She uses her vocal range in like a very unique way, and I appreciate it. I appreciate when artists like use their voice to try to, you know, do something different, and I really like that about this version. But the remix definitely does make it more mainstream and more accessible to a wider audience. But I really liked Kali when I found this EP in 2015. You know, just because I know how involved she was with Tyler, but there was no doubt in my mind that she would become very successful, and she has. So yeah, definitely think Kali's talent is enough to solidify her as one of R&B's greatest artists. And she's Colombian, so I think it's cool that Colombia has an artist that could represent them. And as a bonus, I also ordered Never Be Yours as a single right here. This is pretty cool. And here she is in the back, looking good, let's just say that. But yeah, this is cool. I like the aesthetic of like, you know, homemade with like the paper and using tape and the security cameras. That's pretty cool. But yeah, a very creative artist. And yeah, Never Yours is a popular, I don't know what it was, like I don't want to say freestyle, I don't think it was a freestyle, but it was off that one instrumental, I think Oh Honey by the Delegates. And that brings me to another point regarding Kali Uchis, is that she reminds me a lot of like oldies music, especially like her older stuff. And I think that's why I really enjoy her music. I really enjoy her older music a lot more than her newer music, because I feel like her newer music leans more into conventional R&B sound, which, you know, it's fine. I really like Isolation, but like I said, I always appreciate when artists have like more of a uniqueness to them, even though she was, you know, deriving from that old school oldies sound. But I feel like nowadays anything that is reminiscent of the past, like The Sacred Souls or acts like that, are, you know, they stand out just because it's a blast from the past, which, you know, to me that's cool. I didn't know this was colored. So that's pretty cool too. Another emerald color. That's cool. And I think it says Never Be Yours. Yeah, Never Be Yours. And cool pencil handwriting. I don't know if you can see that, because it only hits in certain light, but that's dope. This is more blue than it is emerald, but this is tight. Side A is Never Be Yours, and then side B is Nothing. So, which makes sense, because I don't think they'll put the instrumental. But yeah, this is cool. I'm glad to have more R&B artists, especially female artists, in my collection. My collection is male dominated, just because hip hop is male dominated, but I do have some very great female artists in my rotation, like Remy Wolf, Sade, Dua Lipa. I'm trying to think who else, but yeah, I want to get more and more female artists in my collection. But you know what's funny? I think it's ironic, but every time I tell my homies like, oh, I picked up a Dua Lipa album, they tell me this.
This for the bitches, nigga.
I'm like, all right, like, you know, that's fine, to each their own, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for this vinyl unboxing. I will say, I'm not trying to be disgusting. I will say she has some crazy album covers. This one's tame. This one is tame. This one is modest in comparison to her others, but yeah, very provocative. I'll say that, very provocative album covers. So I'm kind of glad I just like these, because, you know, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. If you guys did, make sure to subscribe, like, comment. I'm working on a new video right now. It's gonna be more like the comic book video that I made, so keep an eye out on that. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a dope day. Peace.